we've got a minute. Do you want to see what? I'm like, do I want to see what the lead actor's done to the character that I'm supposed to be playing also? Yeah, it's probably a smart idea. Maybe that makes sense. I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to get fired right after this episode. You're going to give me 20 seconds to take in something that the actor is doing, and I've got to follow suit. You have much more confidence in my abilities than I do. I need more time. Yes, show me the damn scene. So he showed it to me, and it was amazing because Jared was doing a completely different thing initially with the way he walked, the way he moved. It was almost like, it was wild. It was almost like he was a superhero. He was moving in a different way than his character was in the show. And I was like, I can incorporate that. That's good, that's good. That falls right into the choices I have made. And so I stopped stressing so much, and I try to throw as much of what he was doing into what I was just about to do, and then we went from there, and it all worked out. I think he did fantastic work with that. It was so cool to see him doing something other than his regular character and playing this angel. It was such a neat experience. Thank you.
Hey Tahmoh,
hi.
I met you 2 years ago.
Nice to see you again.
It feels good to really inspire me in some parts, like with the storyline and how like the inspiration and like never give up with everything, even when everyone's against you. If you could have like a real spin-off, if they called you up right now, obviously not at the convention, and said, yo, we're doing a real spin-off, would you return? And we're gonna retcon his whole ending, which was bullshit by the way. And say you could come back as the character, would you come back in a heartbeat as a supernatural spin-off? As Gabriel?
Yeah, absolutely. If I wasn't doing anything else, I'd come back and play him some more. There was a lot that could have been explored with him. And a lot of people weren't happy with that ending. It was violent, it was sad. A lot of people were really affected by it. I've had so many friends come up to me, especially during the signings or photos, and just say, hey man, that ending really shocked me. It really hurt me. I didn't enjoy it. So absolutely, I would be down in a second. They wrote a spin-off, and there's an opportunity for me to come back, especially if there was opportunity for Gadriel and Castile to have some scenes together. We could get some angel scenes happening. I think there's a whole lot of humor and opportunity with those two characters that we never got to explore. Not enough of anyway.
I hated the ending so much that I wrote a fanfic that Bill gets a redemption arc. That's new canon.
I love it. You should post that. Have you posted it? We share it? Okay, do me a favor and put it on Twitter so I can check it out.
I'm not on Twitter anymore, but I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, we'll try that.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
And I love you so much, and I'll see you later at the photo op.
I love it. Let's take a good photo.
Hi. So my question is, what was it like on like your first episode of Supernatural?
So my first episode, I just told the story about it, actually, right? No, it's okay. But that was actually my first episode. So I went in, it was a big day. I think I had a good 4 important scenes to shoot that day. So it was a big day. I think the first scene we shot was just really simple. It was my character getting off the bus and then getting back on it. It's a little warm-up scene. Sometimes they give that to you to just warm up the actor. And then I got into it. I had an important scene with Jensen. But it was good. I think I made a lot of choices. There was a lot happening in my life at the time too that I found very. It was interesting, the characters you play when you're dealing with certain things, art imitating life. There were certain struggles and challenges that I was having in my life at that time in playing that character, this angel. It made a lot more sense as the season went on. I started realizing the symmetry of it all. It was like meant to be. It was. There was a beauty to it, even though in the beginning I thought it was quite challenging. And I enjoyed that first day, but I definitely had some panic. A big old healthy dose of instant sweat panic when the director told me, would you like to see what the lead actor has done with the character that you were supposed to play first, but guess what? You didn't. He beat you to it. But I appreciate it. You know, it's a good story to tell, and I think we did a good job with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
So I watched Devil in Ohio when it first came out.
What'd you think?
It was amazing. I loved it. And I just wanted to see how you felt filming it and just get an understanding of the difference between you doing a satanic, cultish type leader versus like the juxtaposition of an angelic, godly creature.
Yeah, I mean, they're very different, right? That show was great. I read the book in preparation to do the role in the series, and there was such a huge response. It got millions of views, right? It was in the top 10 shows, top 5 shows for like over a month, I think, streaming. The response was really incredible. If I can brag about anything as an actor, because of budget concerns, they kept streamlining my character. Like they kept cutting out scenes and they just didn't have the money for it. There was supposed to be more of an arc, and I felt it was a little bit challenging the way that you hear about me, and then I show up, and then it's kind of like 4 intense episodes, and then it wraps up. There was a little bit more of a progression in his character at the beginning, which I was looking forward to doing and exploring. But I was working with a fantastic showrunner, Daria is super talented. She wrote the book also. She's very, very talented and collaborative, and as was her writing team. And of course, the actors on the show were so good. I had a great time. I delved deep. For those of you who don't know, it very much has to do with cults. And the show is based on a true story of an actual satanic cult in the 90s. They basically had its own community, its own laws and everything. And a lot of people knew this was happening, but powers that be just kind of let it go on. It's a really fascinating story. But that character, it was a trip going down that hole. Not to digress too much, but there was a very significant cult that was doing most of its business in Vancouver for years. I have friends who were involved. In its initial capacity, it was really just an executive success program, very much like Landmark or Tony Robbins course. It's about bettering yourself. But at the higher levels, the head of this cult was doing many nefarious things, specifically with the women in the group, and it all came out. There's an HBO documentary about it. So I've been privy to some of this knowledge, some of these specific stories, and some of the attractions that bring people into things like this initially. And I brought all that to the table with this gig. Gadriel and the character I played in Devil in Ohio are very, very different, but it's always interesting exploring characters you haven't done before. I know at first I was feeling a little intimidated, but also super excited that I get to do something like this, because it's departure from anything I'd ever done before. And in the end, I'm happy with it. It was a great project, and I think they did a fantastic job. And the testament, the evidence of like how many people watched the show and responded to it strongly, I think is the testament to how good it was.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
I know Supernatural, you hear a lot of stories like the crimes they pulled in it. Did Jared ever really go after you, or did you remember a particularly funny story from the set?
These guys just like to bust balls, man. They like to take the piss. I love that British term. They love to joke around. And it's good because I'm such an actor. I get, if I'm doing an emotional scene, I'm I'm preparing for this, before the scene. I'm very much in character. I'm doing vocal sounds and warm-ups. There's a lot of bloopers they have on that show of the camera filming me walking around going, doing my actor warm-ups and, you know, in my space, getting prepared for the scene. While those guys are all, you know, they're joking around, they're all teasing each other, they're back and forth with the camera crew. The whole set and crew on that show have been working together for so long, so they're like a big family. Anyone can tell you that there was almost always levity. Even if there were serious scenes, they always knew when to drop in. They bring it every time. They're craftsmen. They've done thousands of hours of television. But, you know, there was always the levity, which is good, because when you're working the hours you do in this business, it can be really, really exhausting. And it's tiring, and people can get on each other's nerves, and they can get sensitive sometimes. And those two just weren't allowing it. They didn't allow it. They came in and they knew when to lighten it up, and they knew when to drop it and make it serious too. Thank you.
That was great, thank you.
Good morning.
Hey man, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good. I like your shirt.
Thank you. So earlier you were talking about your best day off, like watching combat sports.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a favorite fighter, and what do you think of McGregor coming back next time?
Oh man, talk for it.
Lost your mic.
Give me 1 second. Oh, we're back. We're back. I've got many feelings about McGregor coming back. Briefly, he's the biggest thing to ever happen to MMA. He is a consummate showman of the highest level. He's done incredible things. He's increased fighter pay. He's one of the highest paid athletes. He's an absolute assassin in the sport of MMA. That said, and I say this respectfully, the man broke his leg in a very, very severe way. MMA, specifically UFC at that level, they're killers. It is so hard to sustain that game at the highest level for years on end. It's very rare that they last. And yes, he's got the best trainers. Yes, I think he's still an incredible athlete, and he's an elite fighter. I think he's been very tactful in choosing his opponents too. Like, I think he's got a very strong chance, especially with Chandler, especially in the first round, where Connor's always been the most dangerous. But he's incredibly rich, and he's been partying, and he's been doing other things and making movies and stuff. Part of fighting, the rule of it, as I'm sure you know, is you have to be so hungry. Man, he came from nothing. You know, he was on welfare, working his ass off for years. He was so hungry at the beginning. I don't know how you sustain or keep that hunger when you've been so successful and so wealthy. And to paraphrase another famous fighter, you're waking up and you're taking off silk pajamas. It's part of it. You need to be hungry. You need to have that desire, that need. I don't know if he has that anymore. We'll see. He could blow us all away. He might take out Chandler in that fight. And if he does, there's more exciting fights for him to have. I'd highly doubt that he'll become the champ again, but crazier things have happened in MMA. You never know. What do you think?
I can't wait, like you said, to show him.
Can't wait to see it.
Anything is going to be entertaining.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good matchup. It's a really good matchup. Let's be honest. It's a fantastic matchup. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And did you say who your favorite fighter was? I don't know.
Oh man, I could go on and on. I mean, back in the day, it was Anderson Silva for sure, because I'm a huge Muay Thai fan. I've enjoyed it for a big portion of my life. And I love elite strikers. It's one of my favorite things. I thought Volkanovski was just incredible in his streak, his timing, the high-level kickboxing, the city kickboxing he's doing out of New Zealand is next level. Those guys are killers. But you take head damage, you take concussions. Your coach and your team needs to make sure that you have ample time to prepare and to recover. And I don't think they gave that to him, and I think they shortened his career because of it. So So we'll see. I'm also a huge Izzy fan. I love Pereira. I could go on and on, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm wondering if you can settle a debate. Friends of mine listen to the podcast, which is a wonderful supernatural podcast, and we are on season 9 episodes, and we noticed that you and Jared and some other actors pronounce Gadriel differently. There's Gadriel, there's Gadriel, there's Gadriel. Was there ever a discussion? What is the official pronunciation of the name?
Well, I think it really depends on people where they're from, cadence, you know. I mean, let's be honest, this is a country with many different dialects and many different accents. We're sitting in a place that, you know, is known throughout North America for its accent. So the way I said it was Gadriel, right? But I think in the beginning I might have been saying Gadriel. I think I was getting used to those names too. But I have heard different versions. But since I played them, I think it's Gadriel. What do you think?
Gadriel always sounded good to me, but
It sounds good to me.
I'm not the official word.
Well, I'm him, so I say so. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Emma.
Hi.
And I was wondering, in the entire series of Supernatural, is there an actor or actress that you wish you had a scene with, but you didn't?
There's many. If I could have, I would have acted with any and all of the regulars, 100%. Jim Beaver would have been amazing to work with. I did such brief work with Misha, you know. I think that, I've spoken on this before, but I think there was ample opportunity for some angel love, some angel comedy, some angel dynamics between those two characters. That would have been amazing. And you know, I mostly obviously worked with Jensen and Jared and Curtis. They were fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted more. I really like working with Jensen. Jensen brings it, man. And we had some really emotional scenes, and I know after we had our first one, I was like, no, man, I can depend on this guy. He brings it. He's there. That's my type of actor. I don't want somebody lazy. I don't want somebody worried about ego or whether they're going to look pretty or whatever. Like, let's get dirty. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. And he always did that. We had some kick-ass scenes together. I really enjoyed them. It's such a fantastic cast, like the greater cast of the show. So many of the regulars from so many seasons, and we love them all. I wish I could have worked with so many of them. Because the thing is, I've become such dear friends, like good friends, traveling with these people around the world, doing conventions for over a decade now. It's cool that you break your bread with these people. I know them quite well. I've had intimate conversations with them many times. We talk about family, we talk about life and passions and struggles, but some of them, even though I know so well, I never got to work with them, and yet we're traveling specifically because of the show that we were all on. So, yeah, I don't know. I look forward to down the road, whether there is a spin-off or it's a different show, having the opportunity to actually act with some of these formidable actors.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.